you see, laughing loud on TV. Ky with those guitar leads, Spider's drumbeat melody. Honeybee laughs and sneezes, good vibes always pleases. Kahuna knew we never slow, makes the good times flow. Catalano TV, fun for you and me. Epic jams every night, under the spotlight. Tunes that make you sway, watch the troubles fade away. Every note a celebration, join the blues sensation. Friends all gathered round, living in the sound. Joy in every beat, dancing in our seat. Catalano TV, fun for you and me. Epic jams every night, under the spotlight. Make you sway, watch the troubles fade away. Every note a celebration, join the blues sensation. Friends all gather round, living in the sound. Joy in every beat, dancing in our sea.
And who cares? Beach ass, welcome to a thirsty Thursday edition of Ky and Friends Fun Times. Hope you're all doing well. We want to remind folks that me and Miss Honeybee have our own channel that we'll be moving to. We'll still be helping Joey, of course, as brothers always help brothers. But we'd ask you to subscribe to the channel that I've just listed there below. That's not Joey's post, that's my post. And just linking the connection to the show where we'll be broadcasting subsequent to next Monday. So we agreed that we're going to help out Joey in the interim here. Appreciate everything, Joey's support for the show, for the channel, and the endorsement means a lot to us. We really appreciate it. Good morning, Brent among house. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. We had some funny stuff with Streamyard this morning, I got to tell you. I get in here, usually you set the show up like the day before. And so we set up the show and we go into Streamyard this morning. No show. There's nothing there. And I'm like, okay. It shows it on YouTube. There's nothing in Streamyard. What's going on? So then you go into the special access for the YouTube. You delete that show. And then you go back into Streamyard. And then the show appears. I don't know, man. There's something don't add up there. But so then you have to delete it on Streamyard because it wasn't showing it before. And now it shows it. Then you have to recreate the shows. None of the stuff you guys really care to hear about. The point is we're here, and that's what matters. Anyways. Hey, you struggle for a few minutes before the show. No big deal. Great to see you in here. I hope you're all doing well. Ram. Ram's picking my wife up and holding her for 10 minutes. All right, Ram. Let's make that 10 seconds, Ram. What do you say? How about a negotiation? I don't think Plant Frank would go for that. I think he might not get so, he might not be upset about 10 seconds, Ram. Maybe that's a happy medium, right? Anyways, great to see you in here, Ram. I hope you're doing good. I know you have a sense of humor, and I know you're smiling. So good to see you. Good morning, Jake. Brent says it's the farewell tour. 26 cities in 26 nights. Well, that's a lot of traveling, man. Is it going to be on the plane or on a bus? And who are you saying farewell to, Brent? We're not going anywhere in terms of not providing content for our precious viewers. We'll still be here for the precious viewers. Yeah, so if you would subscribe to the new channel, being Miss Honeybee will be broadcasting from, we would appreciate it. Hey, Ross Dogs, Broken Spirit, how you doing, man? Great to see you in here. The two supposition maestros, Brent and Ross Dogs, Broken Spirit. Great to see you in here. Yep. Please subscribe to the new channel. We appreciate it. Joey was kind enough to get some. He brought the troops in a couple nights ago, and the subscribers grew by 10 overnight one time, and the Alpha Shot Lounge last night did not yield a single additional subscriber, but I think we didn't really push it, and so anyways, appreciate that. Appreciate the support. Oh, Miss Honeybee says she's got a new brother. Okay. Rostock, subsequent. Subsequent. Sequential. Ross likes to just pick words sometimes. I love it. Thanks for sharing that, Jake. I hope you're doing well. Perseverance. This too shall pass, Jake. This too shall pass. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for tweeting it out for us, man. Good day, Ross Dogs and Honeybee. Brent the Monkhouse, our dear friends from the land down under. This show is called Ky and Friends, Fun Times. And to honor our dear friends in Australia. It's not morning in Australia, it's evening. And so, with the intention of the viewer's perception, we changed the title of the show, the name. I think it makes more sense, and it's got broader appeal, so that works, right? Ross says, my favorite person from north, south, west. Well, if it's north southwest, or is it New South Wales? That's probably more like it. If it's north southwest, you might as well just said west. Oh, Brent says you can keep New South Wales or whatever. They'll let me know if I've got it wrong. Believe me. Let me know right away. It's not north southwest. That much I'm sure of. New South Wales, probably. I don't know. Brent has a small non-speaking role in Fortress 1985. Interesting. Interesting. The in-house historian has actually had some acting credits. Interesting. Not aware of these. There was a line, but my English is not right. Brett's English is not very good. Oh man, that's funny. Oh man. Oh, there we got lovely friend here. Oh, it's I hope that your world is filled with joy and happiness, and all that between your ears brings you more happiness. Hey, Terry Nee, a nude brother. I don't know, man. Somebody's naked. Put some clothes on. The backdrop looks like missing 411 territory information. Well, we could change it. Ross, would you like to see a different one? We've got a bunch to choose from here, actually. And I think it is probably, I think that's the one we had yesterday. We should probably change it to something else. We've got something like this. Kind of repeats. We've got the Trevi Fountain in Rome. Iconic location. I don't know if you've ever been to this fountain, but to see it in person, It's you've heard the term eye candy. Takes it to a whole nother level if you appreciate art, sculpture, and just the composition. It's just really something to behold, honestly. Even to the fine details, if you look inside of that archway, that the vaulted sphere. I mean, just look at the detail of the diamond shape and how it all comes together closer as it moves towards the center of the sphere at the top there. It really, there's just so much detail and amazing beauty in the horses. And it really is. It's amazing to think of the ability to sculpt stone. And as Michelangelo would say, reveal that which is in the stone. He's saying that was always in the stone. He just had to remove the part of it that, well, wasn't part of it. Or if it's not the Trevi fountain, we can go to this one. It's a little too much people moving a little too fast. If it was slower, it might be more palatable. Of course, then it'd be much bigger, that kind of thing. And of course, we have the Colosseo in Rome. We have another overhead view of a Teatro Romana. I'm not sure where this one is. Beautiful place. I'm guessing Turkey, Greece, southern Italy. I don't know. I'm not sure the location of this one, but it is magnificent point. Is it not a magnificent place? Can you imagine a couple thousand years ago, all the people from the surrounding area travel up the mountain to see the games or to see the theater, to see the Greek tragedy? Yeah, kind of cool, right? Civilization at that time. I think this one here is actually in Croatia. This is the skeletons of a ancient Colosseum across the water. Another part of Rome, and of course we have the rainbow in Firenze, the bridge known as the Ponte Vecchio, which means bridge that's old. Ponte means bridge, and Vecchio means old. We got people named Del Vecchio. I wouldn't want to have old as the last name, would you? I don't know. Brent Monkhouse, he might like having the name old. Just kidding, Brent. Don't take it personal. Of course, then we have these interior ones. These are kind of more appropriate for winter, which is kind of what, Brent's kind of experiencing. I don't know if Brent does if he has any fireplace or indoor wood-burning stove. I'll tell you what, though. The wood-burning stove, it's hard to beat. And then, of course, there's this one here with the train who, well, we had a lady before didn't care for the repeat. It's just a little too much. The frequency of it is just too often and just kind of not the best. Of course, then we have these other ones. Brent doesn't have anything like this going on or like this. That's more like our neck of the woods. We have that kind of stuff in winter. Of course, then we can run through. How about Naples? You see the Vesuvius, the volcano in the background. An aerial view of probably a basilica in Naples, Italia. And pretty iconic church. I think my aunt was married there, actually. Of course, then you have this lovely view of Greece. Probably the periphery of Krakatoa, Santorini. And you got this fall, which is that's not fall anywhere. It's either winter or summer. And of course, you got this beautiful view of the Piazza San Marco in Venezia. And we've got this lovely picture. And now I think I need to go back to the chat and see what the lovely folks have to say, which one they'd like to see. So let's see, where were we? The backdrop looks missing. Okay. Let's see if we can get some feedback on that. I don't see anybody by that name in there. I don't know what she's doing. Yes, north, southwest. I see. Dead Fool. How you doing, man? Dead Fool. What a celebration you helped to cap off yesterday with Joey's anniversary. He and Mrs. were celebrating their anniversary. Just wonderful day. Wonderful event. And good times were had by all who were capable of having good times. Thank you so much, Dead Fool, man. Really appreciate you. Big time. And I hope you have a great day today, Dead Fool. Where do you hail from? If we could be so nosy, roughly. You don't have to tell us where specifically. But, if you care to share what part of the country you're in, that'd be great. Or the world, for that matter. Ross says, yep, Deadpool's in the house, man. Deadpool's a great supporter of Catalano TV. Definitely appreciate Deadpool for sure. Yep. Hey, Run DAZ. It's been a while. Well, not really. I mean, you were here recently, but it's been a while from before that. Great to see you in here. I hope you're doing well, Run DAZ. Great to see you. Ram says, put some clothes on, please, Terry. Terry has naked knees, I see. Is that what we're saying here? A nude brother. Yeah, I think he's referring to the sculpture, right? Something like that. One of your people there, Ky. Ross. Nice. Terry's got naked knees. We got the best chat, I tell you. Rostock says, if I were to go to Italy, I would tour Pompeii. Oh man, you definitely would tour Pompeii. You'd have a lot of fun. It's a great. I wouldn't call it a hike because you're traversing an ancient city, right? You're just walking through the neighborhoods, and you get this sense of what it really kind of might have been back in the day, right? It's in some ways not so different than today. They had bakeries where people were baking, sweets and products, and they had all kinds of olives. You know that for sure. They had, of course, they stored their olives. They cured them, right, with salt. I have a theory on olives. Olives was a way to remove salt from salt water. That's a theory I have. I could be wrong on that. But keep changing the barrels with the salt. You preserve the olives, and as you continue to expose olives to the salt water, you will pull a lot of the salt out of that salt water. Oh, it's an interesting hypothesis. I shouldn't say theory, right? But yeah, Pompeii it's a great experience. It's a lot of fun. You can see when you walk the roads in Pompeii, you can see just how much traffic went through there by being able to tell when the wheels that rolled across those Roman roads, you'd see the grooves in the wheels, the grooves from the wheels in the road. That's how much wear there was and how much traffic there was moving across those roads in Pompeii. Very, very big city in terms of just people moving through with their donkey carts or whatever it was, right? Pretty cool, man. You see, there's just so much to see there. And once you're done in Pompeii, you go and take a look at Herculaneum, which was covered in mud. Another excellent sight to see. And you will see some things that will be reminiscent of, items that you might find in, say, a something you would not see. And if you put those two words together quickly, you'll see symbols that were actually represented the changing of the season. That symbol predates certainly the folks in Germany of World War II. That symbol predates them by a couple thousand years, something like that. And so that was the symbol of the changing of the seasons. You had spring, summer, fall, winter, the changing of the seasons. And so that was in a rolling fashion, right? So people will see that symbol there and say, oh my goodness gracious. It's meant something different time. But it is a lot of fun. You'll travel along that area on a train that's called the Circumvesuvius. And the Circumvesuvius does just that. It goes around Mount Vesuvius, which is the active volcano in Napoli. It's something to see, man. I'll tell you too, when you're riding on the Circumvesuvius in that area, if you get close to where you're getting close to nights, sunset, you will see along the railway these beautiful, brilliant, bright oranges and citrus fruit. It's one of those things where you catch the light at just the right time in the evening, and you're riding on the train through the along the coast, and you just roll through some of these beautiful citrus areas. It's just something you'll see it and you can't unsee it. It's just so beautiful. I remember getting off the train in Salerno, which is south of Naples. Got off the train station, and you're real close to the shore, so I walked down the hill towards the shore and sat close to the shore. There was a light mist coming off of the water, light salty mist, so to speak, and made a journal entry of the experience. Stopped at a crematoria, which that's what they call them. They sell dairy products, right? But they also sell dried meats. And even back then, I was getting my dried meats. You cut some, you have your Swiss Army knife. You cut yourself some thin shaved soppressata next to the water. Just a wonderful experience. Great place to visit, by the way. Let me see if I can't get caught up in the chat here. I got to go do a few things, all right? Yeah, good luck. That's great. Yep. Thanks for watching. Appreciate that. Dog's Wallet SNR. Welcome. I think Dog's Wallet gets the Virgin Bell, maybe. And Jake Hudson. Love you, Ky, Miss Honeybee. I think we're gonna run a little song here just for a moment, about 2 minutes. I think we're gonna run yet another blues song.
Joey C and Honey C watch the TV screen. Ky and Spider laughing loud, making quite a scene. Honeybee, she sneezes, laughter fills the room. Kahuna Nui steps in, chases all the gloom. Catalano TV, fun times, epic blues bits alive. Friends just being who they are, stars under the same sky. Spider flips the channels, Kahuna Nui stays close. Joey strums guitar strings, Honey C feels the most. Laughter echoes endless, stories in the blue. Ky and Honey dreaming, making moments true. Catalano TV, fun times, epic blues riffs alive. Friends just being who they are, stars under
Thanks for staying with us, folks. Appreciate the delay there. Just started a project here, and so got something new started. Appreciate the patience. Anyways, Run DAZ says new buildings in the U.S. look like garden sheds and are made from cardboard or made of cardboard. It's interesting. You look at the appearance of buildings these days, and you compare it to like buildings or structures of the past. Like, for example, we've got a road in Cleveland that is called Martin Luther King Boulevard, and before that, it was named Liberty Boulevard. And just a fitting name change, really. Anyways, you drive through there. It was land that was donated from the Rockefellers. So it goes back, I guess, quite a ways, right? And they donated it to the public. And as you drive through this beautiful area of Cleveland, just this beautiful, you have different cultural gardens, and it celebrates the melting pot. You've got different communities. You got the Croatian, you've got the Syrian, you've got the Italian, you've got the Greek, you've got the it just goes on, right? And it's amazing celebration of the the melting pot that is the country that we live in. And the melting pot, I think Australia represents a melting pot too. I know that there's a lot of diversity in Australia too. I think we have a lot in common with our Australian brothers and sisters. I'd like to see constitutionally more in common, but that's none of my business. Anyways, and you talk about the structures, and you look at these are all beautiful stone bridges, with Roman arches under them, just beautiful, beautiful mason work, beautiful masonry, beautiful stonework, and tremendous expense, right? Tremendous cost compared to, well, the modern steel bridges. So the cost to maintain those is probably low compared to putting up new things, right? Anyway, so they have to maintain them with the masonry skills, but it is just something to behold. It does make you appreciate the architecture and the beauty and the way things used to be done. And I always tell people, if you want a taste of Europe, go to Montreal. You want a taste of Europe, and in the United States, I'd go to Montreal and just get a real flavor of European culture there. What is it the French say? The Italians, yes, they invented culture, but we perfected it, yes. So, interesting comment, Run DAZ. Ram likes the background. It could have been one of many that we showed, right? And Deadfool says old equals wise. I've got a feeling that Deadfool's got a lot of wisdom, whatever age he or she is. I imagine it's a he, but I don't know, honestly. Now, let's see. Well, we'll just move on. Appreciate you, Deadfool. You know that. Honeybee. Morning, Deadfool. Did you get your song? Deadfool? I'm not sure. Some crosstalk in the chat. Hey, Eggplant Frank. Brother from another mother. How are you? How you doing? Yep, that's right. Eggplant Frankie. This must be from when I showed the Santorini, the area of Krakatoa, one of the great explosive volcanoes, right? Going back in time, burying parts of the Minoan, area, and burying, I don't know, is it Midas? I have to read up on my history. Brent Monkhouse will let us know. He'll correct me. Ky, you're incorrect. That's such and such and such and such. Anyways, the Minoan area is one of the places that you can see that it was there was an eruption that covered it. And when you get an eruption, you get what's left behind after an eruption. you'll oftentimes have rain. The rain washes away all the ash, gets washed away over time, but the sand will remain. And that's why I have the hypothesis that Gobekli Tepe, which is the most ancient civilization site known to humans in the world, Gobekli Tepe goes back about 12,000 years, which is before agriculture. And that area, they say, was intentionally buried by sand. And I don't know if you guys, if you've got like these structures that have megalithic stones holding them up in the centers. If you imagine what it takes to bury megalithic structures over the course of football fields of area with sand, kind of hard. It's kind of hard to believe to me. I think it makes more sense that there was some pretty nasty, and there are parts of Turkey where you can see a lot of representation of volcanic history in the past. I think it makes a lot more sense that it was basically an eruption from a volcano, and the theories that the hypotheses that people make is, it was intentionally buried, and that there are, like, you'll have the center of those structures will have like ashes from their fire pits, basically. And that's why I believe they're dwellings. And you got these university professors that are trying to make it into religious facilities, which I reject completely. But they think that was buried by hand, by sand. I just think it's so naive. Why explain something with enormous difficulty when it could be explained so simply, right? Occam's razor. Anyways, yep, Santorini is such a beautiful place. Eggplant Frank, you nailed it, brother. Crack a steel toa. Crack a toa. Crack a steel toa. Venezia. Yeah, it's Venice. That's right, Eggplant Frank. I hope you're having a good day, buddy. Good morning. Yep, some crosstalk. Morning, Jake. Thanks. Yep. Dead Fools. He must have sent Dead Fool a song. Nice. Eggplant Frank. I don't know, man. Where are you going to take this? Eggplant Frank says, I love getting nude in public. I think, are you one of the guys who ran across the soccer field, Eggplant Frank? You're one of those drinkers. What's up, man? What are you doing? Beautiful trees, says right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I appreciate the folks liking and subscribing. That's right. We'll repost it here. We're so happy to have the support and endorsement for our brother Joey C. Thanks so much. Liking does help the channel. It does improve the algorithm and the status of the channel. So thank you so much for doing that. Eggplant Francis, Kai, I guess you know the story of Roman roads and today's modern civilization. Well, I think Frank's about to tell us he's going to be a peon on the way. We used to go to this restaurant in Euclid, Ohio. It's between the Cuyahoga River and the Grand River in Euclid, Ohio. It's on the southern shores of Lake Erie, the North Coast, and this little restaurant had this little sign over the area where the hallway was to the restrooms, and it says Appian Way, the Appian Way. If you got to pee, you go the Appian Way. Anyways, I think maybe Eggplant's about to impart us with some knowledge. The story of Roman roads and today's modern civilization. All roads lead to Rome. Is that what you're saying? Please do tell us, Frank. It's always something stimulating to talk about, right? Deadpool says, my brother is leaving on a trip to Iceland tomorrow. Wish I was going. Would like to see the eruption near Grindavik. Forgive me for butchering that. Yeah. I've never been to Iceland. I would like to go to Iceland. They have untold resources in terms of radiant heat that they can use to generate clean power. Some really cool stuff in Iceland. And hey, if you remember the Sopranos episodes, well, do you remember the ladies from Icelandic Air? I don't think that's lost on anyone that's seen the Sopranos. All the stewardesses from Icelandic Air, well, they were partying with the Sopranos. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool. I know they can disrupt a lot of air travel depending on how serious the eruptions are, right? Thank you, Ram. We appreciate that. We appreciate the folks subscribing to our channel. Run DAC says, Honeybee, what's the name of the new channel? Yep, we just posted it. Posted again there. Appreciate the endorsement from our brother Joseph Samuel. Got a comment in here from Jason Bardot. Hello, everybody. And Ram says, just put Ky Brancaccio. It will come up Run DAZ. Crosstalk. And Ram says the link has been posted. Run DAZ. Yep. Appreciate that. Okay, bro. We got a comment from Brent. I can't wait to see what this one is. Okay, Brett. By dried meats, do you mean beef jerky? We make our own with our dehydration machine. Oh, that is cool. That is cool. You know, me and Miss Honeybee, we've been talking about those for years now. Oh, what a great item. What a great tool to have. The thing is, and Brent, you can tell me what the answer is on this because I really don't know. I gotta believe, and again, Brent, I'm asking you to tell me, you must limit the amount of fat that you have in those meats. Tell me if that's not the case. I mean, you know, of course, I've had dried sausage, and we've dried our own sausage actually, and I want to believe that the more fat that you have in it, the harder it is to keep it from going rancid. Let us know what your take is on that, Brent. But yeah, we've talked about getting one of those machines once we get our solar fully running and we have some energy to burn, so to speak. We're definitely going to be getting a food dehydrator too, because it would be awesome to be able to have some dried sausage and just have foods like that you can store. And I don't know if Miss Honeybee decides that she wants some chickens, we'll be able to do similar things with the pasture raised chickens' eggs, right? You get an abundance of eggs, and well, you can freeze dry those too. And boy, if you've ever had pasture eggs from free range chickens, like here's the special question you ask folks. If you want some really good eggs, this is my opinion now, with nice, bright, brilliant yolks, you go to a place that has chickens and you ask them, what do you feed your chickens? And when they answer you nothing, you probably found some good eggs because, well, chickens eat what chickens eat. And if they're eating what they're supposed to eat, the eggs will be what they're supposed to be, which means that they'll be representing the proper nutrients and nutrition if they can gather all the resources they need from the land. If they're in balance, let's just say that. If you don't have an overabundance of concentrated chickens. Anyways, that's pretty cool, Brent. Well, I wonder if how spicy are you saving you're making beef jerkies and that? Are you making it? In fact, we just put together a batch of spice to make another batch of our sausage, actually. Well, we're making beef sausage, actually. A lot of people, when they refer to sausage, they're talking about pork, but we make a beef sausage. It's just easy, it's fast, and it's delicioso. Deadpool. Guitar, that's right. Is this live on both channels? It is. Eggplant Frank. Joey's given his endorsement for our channel. So we're simul streaming them to both locations in the interim. Joey asked me to stick around until next Monday. I think will be our last day on the Catalano TV in terms of the morning show. Certainly we'll be broadcasting on the Rock Talk Live exclusive. That's on Sundays at 4 p.m. with Cut of the Jib, my go-to source for rock and roll. Really love the information and knowledge that he imparts to the subjects matter, which I enjoy listening to. So, yeah, we'll be on Catalano TV on Sundays at 4 p.m. and Cut of the Jib's Guitar Guys whenever that resumes at the times. Cut of the Jib's in the process of moving right now, so I think we're going to have it this Sunday, though. And so I'm so delighted because I think he's going to be in a much better place, quite literally, and I think health-wise things will start to really improve for him. He's been having a little rough time as of lately. Guys are teasing him. He's got a patch over his eye, and they're having fun with it. Anyways, yeah, thanks, Miss Honeybee, for posting that. Eggplant Frank says, I can't follow the chat. Oh, man. Yeah, sorry. That's just because, right, I get that. We have two different locations. If everyone, subscribes to the new channel, it'll make it easier. Appreciate that, too, by the way. Nice, says Ross Dogs. Ky must be on the dunny. That's probably when I was being a dummy before, where I was. Well, I got a new project I'm starting. I think I said links lead to a dead end, Honeybee. Well, that's not good. Oh, she's got dashes in it. That's probably why. I'll repost this here. I'm not sure. She probably is unaware of what happens there. So I just reposted it. You'll see it coming under Catalano TV's post. And that shouldn't be a dead end. I'm sure that was an accident. I'm not sure why she had the dots after it. That'll cause a problem for sure. Yeah, sorry about that airspace, folks. I apologize for that. Washing his hands, I hope. Absolutely, man. Are you kidding me? That's one thing I have to say. I've grown up with maybe obsessive compulsive to be clean my hands. I have to say I'm guilty of that. Let me ask this question to the folks in the chat here. Have you ever gone somewhere and grabbed on a door handle and turned it and felt something on it? It's just the most disgusting feeling. You're like, okay, said door handle must be dirty, right? The troubling thing about that is that means that people have filth on their hands are using the door handles, right? It just grosses you out, and you're just like, okay. And so I've seen people at gas stations get gloves out to pump their gas. That's not me, but it probably should be me. You ever pick something up and you just got some, ajadu, whatever the heck's on it, It's pretty disgusting experience, right? Eggplant says, yes, here I am. The best part of this stream is, oh, come on. Eggplant's having fun. He's joking. He's laughing. I think Ram's going to agree. Eggplant Frank, I think Ram's going to agree to only pick up Miss Honeybee for 10 seconds now instead of the 10 minutes. I think he's changing his ways. I don't know. I do enjoy the back and forth with Eggplant Frank and Ram. I think Ram has a good sense of humor, and it keeps it interesting. Run DAZ, just look at how great the Art Deco era buildings looked. Now it's all strip malls. Are you a big fan of Frank Lloyd Wright, Run DAZ? Let us know. Hey, it's Dom the Cat. How you doing, Dom? It's good to see you in here. The founder's son. Good to see you, Dom. Hope everything's going good. It was great to see that you came on, I want to say about a week ago. That was nice to see that. I'm not up at those hours, but I was delighted to see you come on and say hi. I wish you'd do it more often. Enjoy seeing the updates, man. Hey, we got Brian Clotter in here. Brian, man, it's been too long since we've seen you, brother. You get the Virgin Bell. It's been a while. Good morning. Can you guys wish my wife good luck? She's getting a colonoscopy. Denise. Denise. Man, wish you all the best. I think that these are, for these doctors these days, I think it's like brushing their teeth, man. It's just a piece of cake. I think they have a couple different ways to do it. The one is just if you don't want to be totally put under, then you just go with, I think it's called Twilight or something, where you just kind of, you're at the point where you're just a little bit out of it, so to speak, but you're not under totally. And people are amazed at just how quick it happens. It's nothing to, once you're through it, you'll be like, oh man, that's nothing. That's my understanding. If I'm being honest, I can't personally say. Dogs, hey y'all, yeah. So let me reiterate, Denise, nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. In fact, this is one of those things, Denise, where there is a possibility of looking and saying, thank God I did this, or thankfully for all those that I love, I did this. That is a distinct possibility. And as long as that's a possibility, I think that that's something that knowing that all the ones who love you and care about you realize that there's a chance that this will benefit you in ways that you hadn't anticipated. So yeah, man, look at the bright side of it. It's a net win, I think. Donks is in the house. We've got to give a proper greeting to Donks. I have to stop the recycle of the background sounds and increase the volume so that we give Donks a proper greeting. Great to see you in here, Donks, man. We love it when you participate. Do you have anything to say back to us, Donks? Jimmy stuck in the well again? Oh, great to see you in here, Donks. Hope you're doing good, brother. Freaking love it when Donks comes in here. Let me see. There we are. Deadfool says, you mean Canada? He's laughing. Yeah. If you're referring back to my comment about a taste of Europe in North America, that's right. I love going to Canada. I miss it. I haven't been there since the lock of downwardness. And I've got family in Montreal. I've got family in Mississauga. Just outside of Toronto. I love going to Canada. I love going around Lake Erie. I love driving towards Detroit from Cleveland, crossing the bridge or going through the tunnel, making our way somehow through Detroit without getting mugged. And as soon as we get to Windsor, we make a beeline to the Thanasis Greek restaurant. Wonderful place where Miss Honeybee first tasted escargot. Would you like some escargot, monsieur? Yes, please. Extra garlic. Thank you. Yeah, best of luck to Denise. Yeah. Denise, there's two ways this could go that you'll be like, yeah, I'm glad I got it over with. They didn't find anything interesting. It was kind of just unremarkable, right? They won't have anything. Or it could be, thank God, that they did this. Or a lot of times what happens is they go in there and there's these little polyps that not everyone, but people have, and they just get removed like it's nothing. I mean, they just do it when they're in there. They just remove these things. It's kind of like I don't know if you put it in terms of like if you're familiar with seeing people with skin tags, something like that. It's just gets shaved off. It's like nothing. Really, it's no big deal for them. It's like put it this way, it's like them brushing their teeth. That's how These folks that do that kind of thing, they're that good at it. And we wish you all the best, Denise. And I appreciate Brian. It's great to see you in here, by the way, Brian, fellow artist, guitar player. Just love it when you come in here, Brian. What's that, Donks? Jimmy's still stuck in the well? No, I'm just kidding. I was listening to Velvet Underground concert. Lost track of time. Almost missed you. Well, I'm glad that the Velvet Underground revealed our show to you. Great to see you. Unless we finally invaded Quebec. Well, have you been to the Lake Erie Islands? The Perry Monument comes to mind. There's been some wars along those shore back in the past, right? Things could have been very different, right, Deadpool? Could have been very different. Man, we're so blessed in this chat. We got a lot of great folks in here. Yep. We wish Denise all the best. Denise, you're going to look back and say, piece of cake. Nothing. No big deal. Oh, Eggplant Frank's going to correct me. That's fine. I'm always delighted when I'm wrong because I'm about to learn something. So let me know what it is I had wrong there, Eggplant Frank. The Devilverse is so pleasant when not around Stuttering John. Yeah. Well, I think we had a science story that we didn't get to yet. And, we talk about the national days is it. But one of the science stories we had is a rare missing link black hole found lurking in the Milky Way. Well, that's pretty close if you think in terms of neighborhood in our own galaxy for that matter. Rare missing link black hole found lurking in the Milky Way. Yeah, it still makes me laugh that if there's any sense that we know everything, boy, is that laughable. It is amazing what we have discovered through physics and the knowledge of mathematics and physics and science. It is really amazing the knowledge that we have found. But if you think the stuff that we know is nothing but a scratch of the surface of knowledge that is available, then you got to be naive. There's a lot more we don't know than what we do know. And if you keep that in mind, you're more likely to discover that which we don't know. So anyways, getting back to my statement, the rare missing link black hole found lurking in the Milky Way. Yeah, my whole take on that was, that black hole happens to be one named Chicken Melendez. Right. That's my take. Run Daisy. Yeah, a little crosstalk in the chat. Yeah, it's great to see the folks in here. We've got the best chat at Catalano TV. No question about it. Donks, I subbed to your channel yesterday, but no notification. Well, I appreciate you letting us know, Donks. It's weird. I noticed this morning when we came in to run the show, I entered StreamYard, no show showing. So I'm just like, what is going on? Maybe the show got deleted by accident. Yeah, people make mistakes. I make mistakes. Anyway, so I get into StreamYard. There's no show showing there. Like, I have nothing to broadcast from. And so with StreamYard, you're basically going to create the show. You schedule the time. And then when it's time for the show, you enter into it, maybe 10 minutes before, whatever. And when it's StreamYard, there was nothing. So then I'm like, okay, there's nothing there, but it shows it on YouTube. So now I've got to go special access into the YouTube channel and delete that show that's scheduled because I cannot broadcast to it because I don't have the connection in StreamYard. That's the perception when you enter StreamYard. You don't see your show that's supposed to be broadcast. So then I go do that, and then I come back into StreamYard, and you go into StreamYard, and then it shows the show. It's like, what? So then you have to delete that, and then you have to recreate the shows for those 3 broadcasting platforms, which is in this case the Catalano TV, Ky and Friends, Fun Times, which is at Ky Brancaccio. I'll post that again here, actually. So thankful that Joey endorses our show and our channel moving forward. Very appreciative. But yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on, Donks. I think that should take care of itself. But I appreciate the feedback. It's good to know what's going on because sometimes, sometimes the websites are I don't know, they malfunction or what's going on. Run DAZ, it's not my jam, but Ky would make a killing doing ASMR. Such a pleasant voice and cadence. Why? Run DAZ, what a wonderful thing to say. You get the Virgin Bell for that comment. I'm not sure if that's a reward, but I appreciate it. Listen, it's funny you say that, Run DAZ. I had Stormy. Stormy's a personality on a number of different shows, and she's a producer behind the scenes on a number of different shows too. I want to say No Filter is certainly one of the flagships that she's commanding the production of. And I don't know if you've heard her voice, Run DAZ. She's got the silky voice. And so we had her on as a guest one time, and I interviewed her, and then we had her on as a guest host as well. And we'd love to have her back too. But anyways, when she was on with me, people were joking around. It's like, I think I'm listening to some old NPR or something. Which I got a kick out of her. She's got like this silky voice. And so, you had the both of us on. I'm not sure that I recognize that I have that, but I've heard that from others. So I appreciate it. It's very kind words to say, but it's funny. So let me read it one more time. It's not my jam, but Ky could make a killing doing ASMR. Such a pleasant voice and cadence. Well, thank you. Appreciate the kind words, man. They are appreciated. Terry Nee with the naked knees. Happy birthday, by the way, Terry. Have we sold you happy birthday today and every other freaking day? Yes, Terry Nee, happy birthday. He says Ray DeVito. Well, he's saying Ray DeViro, which is some type of fusing of De Niro and DeVito. Ray DeViro, AO Roaming Roads. I think he's talking about Route 80, I-80 or something like that. Little crosstalk in the chat here. And here's the link that we had mentioned before. Hopefully this doesn't give you a dead link, and kind words from Jason, which we appreciate. They do not fall on deaf ears. Run DAZ, thanks for the link. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. We are very thankful. And we are believers in what I would call redemption. We are believers in redemption. We believe in the redemption of those that seek it. Brent says no more fat. No, more fat, the better. He's talking about his food dehydrator, which it's a passion of ours too. We really want to get one of those. You have to have there's a vacuum, there's a water dispensing because it condenses the water in the item into the chamber. Really kind of cool stuff that you can do with these. I know a lot of dairy farmers use them to dehydrate their milk too, so they can store it. Which Brent, that's up your alley, not mine. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, he says no more fat the better for drying these meats. If you use meat with no fat, it has not as much flavor and is like chewing on a brick. Never lasts long enough around here to go bad. Well, that's no surprise, man. That's some great stuff, man. Some dried meats, some soprasat. And when I'm talking about, and I know what Brent's talking about as well, is the traditionally dried meats. Like, you're not putting chemicals in it. You're not like, I don't know about you, Brent. Me and Miss Honeybee, we are the people who read the ingredients on stuff that we buy. And so we buy less and less the more we read ingredients. And it is next to, actually, I'll state it plain and simple. It's impossible to find dried meats without garbage in them. You're going to find dried meats. There's going to be sugar. There's going to be corn syrup. There's going to be dextrose. The list goes on, man. And our philosophy is if it's not herbs and spices and meat, we pretty much don't want it. So that's why we make our own sausage. That's why we do that kind of thing. That's why we've dried our own meats, but we don't have the dehydrator, which is a much better way to do it. And like I said, once we get our solar panels and solar array up and running and spitting out the power, man, we'll have some energy to burn, and that'd be a great way to use some of it, right? So the question then, Brent, is I guess the question is more so the percentage, right? Typically, the sausage that we've been making with beef has been like 73% lean, so it's on the fattier side of beef, but that's kind of an average cut for beef, So yeah, fat means flavor, man. Fat tastes pretty good. Terry Nee says Ky's a good egg. Why, thank you. Are you saying I'm rather filled with sulfur, Terry? How should I interpret that, naked knee man? That's kind of funny. Well, I'm naked knee man. Were you an artist? He's okay. He's all right. All this talk of cured meats is making me hungry. Run DAZ, I totally understand, man. If you've had some good dried meats like soppressata or other fine Italian lunch meats, the closest thing I can get to normal ingredients, and I still can't, is when I cross the border, I go into Canada, you'll find some imported goods from Italy and their little Italy community over there. It gets close, but there's still ingredients in it that me and Miss Honeybee don't want. And when we make our own homemade sausage, man, I'm telling you, it doesn't last long. We'll let it cure in the fridge with the flavors, the spices, and the herbs for 2 or 3 days, and then we'll put it in the freezer. We pack them into 1-pound packs. Rostock says, Ky, having never heard of Michael Jordan or Larry Bird, unwisely bet the Romanians in their match versus the 92 Dream Team. Interesting supposition, Rostogs. I can't vouch for it though, brother. I have heard of Michael Jordan. I have great admiration for Michael Jordan, the businessman, the athlete, the gifted human being. A lot. And if I'm being honest, now I'm gonna throw this out there. I like Michael Jordan a lot more than one named James. Let me just put it that way. I'm disappointed by one named James with a lot of the things that he says, the areas that he delves into, which I don't think suit him and don't lend itself to his brand. Let's just say. Anyways, that's not what you're talking about, but I unwisely bet the Romanians in their match versus the 92 Dream Team. Incorrect. You are incorrect, Rostogs. Terry Nee is awesome. So's Rostog. So's Brent Monkhouse. Jake says, let's get Ky to 500 subs. Oh, how awesome would that be? Yeah, we're under no illusions, Jake. It's a tough road, man. We don't have the talent that Joey C has. It's not like we're going to command 3,000 to 5,000 subscribers in an instant by bursting onto the scenes like Joey does. He's just this gifted entertainer that people just can't get enough of, So we know it's going to be a long, hard road, but that's okay. We've never shied away from hard work. There's been a long-held rumor that Jimmy Page played on the Kinks. You really got me. You know anything about that, Ky? I don't. I wish our friend Jib was here. When I listen to that song, though, I'm listening to it in my head as you say that, and the riffs on the guitar do not speak Jimmy Page to me. This is my opinion. Okay, I'm a human being. I certainly can be wrong, but I think I have some expertise in the battle axe area, quite frankly. And I have, if I'm being honest, I have quite the trained ear. And so, personally, I'd love to hear what Jib's take is on it, but personally, I don't hear that in the guitar riffs in the leads. But is it possible that he just played the rhythm guitar on it? I guess that's possible without lending himself to the guitar leads. So here's a niche of what, or a nuance to the song that's possible. I guess if I'm keeping an open mind, I guess that's possible, but I don't think so. Jimmy Page could acknowledge or deny it, right? Of course, those agreements, these performers, they will keep their words. Like, for instance, there's a lot of music in the past where the guys weren't playing their instruments. I've heard people make this accusation. The guy who was the lead singer for Warrant came from a town that's not far from here. It's called Stowe, Ohio. It's getting towards Akron. And I know some people that know him, or knew him, I should say, rest his soul. And these are people I take at their word. I have to leave the ability or the possibility that that's not true, but they've told me that those guys didn't even play on the records. And they're basically kind of like Milli Vanilli of guitar players is what the allegation was. I can't say if it's true, but to me it's disturbing, because when you hear great guitar talent and articulation of just great leads, phrases, answer phrases, and catchy guitar working introductions, and knowing that that's not actually the artist, it's such a disappointment. I mean, it's like seeing a painting. Have you ever seen artwork that you absolutely loved and you just admired and you thought, wow, this something does something for me. There's something to this piece of art that speaks to me. And a lot of times you'll see art and you say, it doesn't do much for me. You don't want to insult the artist, so to speak, but it's so deflating to find out that an artist didn't actually create something. To me, it's disturbing. Honestly, it means there's so much fakeness in the music industry if that's what's going on in that particular area. Anyways, sorry for that long answer on that, or comment on that. What's that, Jason? LOL, Ram. A little crosstalk in the chat. Nothing worse than lumps on the underside of a restaurant table. Oh, run DAZ. Man, he took that to next level. I was talking about grabbing a doorknob and feeling like a chunk of something on there and go, right? Run DAZ takes it right to the underside of the restaurant table. Okay, I'll take it one too. How about you go to a restaurant and you're sitting at the table with say your lovely wife, or with a dear friend, or whatever it is, and a group having a good time, and you put your arms on the table, like, just below your wrists. You got your arms on the table, you're talking to each other, and then you lift your arms up and they stick. Huh? You following me, Run DAZ? The table is sticky. Then you realize that you're leaning up against it, and like you sit back a little bit. You're leaning over, and you sit back a little bit, and your shirt stuck to the table too. Don't go to those places. All right, it's not breakfast talk. We're making people hungry before with the dried meats, and now, well, maybe they're a little less than hungry. Good morning, Jerry. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Good to see you in here. Lots of people put gloves on the pump diesel. Yeah, right. That's one of the stinks. That's, man, it's hard to get off you, right? Diesel's got its own stink to it. That makes sense. I get that. But some of the other, I don't know if you've been to other gas stations, man. Sometimes you'll pump the gas and your hands got whatever kind of filth was on somebody else's hands that was handling that pump. And let's be honest, man. All you have to do is take a look around you, spend a whole day in public, go to like a store in public and look at every single person that passes you and walks past, and just imagine the one with the most filthy, dirty hands has just handled that pumps, because that's what's going on. Right? And you just put your hands on it and you felt a chunk of something or a crusty thing. Ugh. Sorry, man. I don't mean to gross people out this morning. Hope nobody's eating their breakfast. That's okay. It's only in your mind. It's not on your plate. Get it out of your mind. Erase it. Appreciate the input, though, Eggplant. Deadpool, we would paint the door handles in the shop with grease as a prank. Yeah, listen, that's a prank that people will do too. You know the type of door handles where on the side of your cars that kind of tilt out to open the door. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of cars have that style. Well, some people have basically taken the grease gun and just sprayed a bunch of it under there, and you can't see it. But then when you go to open the door, the fingers dig right into it. Not a good feeling. No, I've never heard of doing something like that, dead fool. When could that have possibly happened? Yeah, that is funny. It sure is disgusting. I don't know, man. You know what? You know which one I think would be pretty funny? Only because I've only ever seen it and never actually done something like that. I don't think I've got it in me to do that, but you ever see the one where people take the binoculars, put them up on their eyes, look at the binoculars, and then take them off of their eyes, and they've got these dark black mascara rings around their face, their eyes. That's kind of a funny prank that you'd like to. You act like you're looking at something really, really interesting next to somebody and never putting them quite on your face, and then setting them up and say, oh man, if you look right over here, you can see this certain bird, and then let them go to look. It's right on their face. And if you're careful about it, I'm not saying to do this, but if you're careful about it, you don't even have to tell them that they got those black rings on their eyes. I always thought that'd be funny. I never had the heart to do something like that, but I always thought that'd be funny. I haven't touched foreign doorknobs in 30 years. My wife calls me Howard Hughes, right? Listen, man, I totally I totally get that. I'm the one. You ever look at like these brass door handles? Like you walk into stores and they got brass door handles, right? I mean, depending on what season of the year is, if you got long sleeves on or a sweater, you can always withdraw your arm into your sweater and use the fabric to pull open the door. But you ever notice those brass door handles, the bottoms of them are dark and the tops of them are shiny? You ever notice that? So the portion that's being used the most is what appears to be most polished, right? And that's the part that's being used the most. And the bottoms of them, well, they're darker and they're dirtier, right? And of course, we all know as gravity draws, any kind of filth that's on there is going to run lower, right? It grosses you out. I'm sorry, folks. I hope this discussion isn't bothering people. I hope Brian Clowder doesn't go to the hospital. And, well, hospitals actually are ahead of the game. They usually have the revolving doors, so you don't have to touch anything. But don't want to gross yourself out by touching door handles today. Nothing more disgusting than grabbing a door handle and then feeling that you have something's been imparted to your hand from embracing a doorknob. It gives you the agita, huh? But that's hilarious. I haven't touched foreign doorknob in 30 years. Howard Hughes, that's funny. Spruce Goose. I once grabbed a banister on a stairwell and shook hands with someone's discarded loogie. Oh. It's like somebody just sneezed and went, and you shook their hands. Oh. Oh. Ross Talks. We're grossing the folks out. This is not Not the best conversation for people, right? That's okay. At least we're not going into the doogie talk I did last night on the Alpha Shot Lounge. Oh my goodness. Ren Diaz says, "Who isn't Frank Lloyd Wright?" Question mark. I think his answer to does he like Frank Lloyd Wright, and kind of saying who doesn't, right? I guess that's what he's saying. I'm not sure. He'll let us know if I don't have that correct, but I think that's what he's saying. Who doesn't like Frank Lloyd Wright? Falling Water is not that far from where we are in Ohio. Falling Water, I want to say, is across the border into Pennsylvania. That's a famous homestead that he designed. The crosstalk in the chat. Yep, great to see y'all. Ram says, "Good luck, Denise." Rostock says it was Jerry's decision to bring back Dr. Crusher in season 3. Well, that's kind of interesting to hear. Let's hear what Jason has to or Jerry has to say about that. It's okay, donks. Jerry says, "Nope, Ross." See, Ross loves to make suppositions, and now Jerry gets to have some fun with it. Ross's suppositions. Nope, Jerry. Nope, Ross. Like I said, I did a one-time Hail Mary submission, blindly hoping they'd use anything. Well, this is the disposition of an artist. An artist makes art for art's sake sometimes. An artist finds great joy in their creations, wants to share them with others, and sometimes the sole reward, which is all fulfilling, is the embracement of something that you created by someone else that appreciates it. Sometimes that, in and of itself, is a gift and a great thing to be joyous over. Let me know if I don't have that right, Jerry. Being an artist myself, I can appreciate that perspective. But since you can't hear my voice, you get tiny bits of information. Hey, Gaseous Man, the hairdo is looking good. I was on the Alpha Shot Lounge last night, and as we have to balance our speech with other people's speech and be respectful, I didn't quite get to mention about the well, at least not in the detail I wanted, about Gaseous's lovely new hairdo. I'm happy to see that you've got the gaseous clay, which is, well, let's say maybe more of a 70s version. Man, right? Something like that. Yeah, a little crosstalk in the chat. We're so thankful for our friends here, I'll tell you. Rest in peace, David Cassidy, says Ross Dogs. Well, I'm not aware of that. Is that the case? Hi, Deadpool Polyps? Well, think of Jake's smile. Okay. Crosstalk. Terry said, boy, now I'm realizing how far behind the chat I am. I think I must be running my mouth a little bit too long today. Anyways, getting a colonoscopy is the best rest. Oh, Terry, listen, man, I know that the folks that go through this, they drink quite the amount of beverage, right? That's, you know what? Forgive me, Brian. I didn't bring up the fact that there's that preparation portion, right? That's the worst part, really, and it's not that bad. It's a challenge because, well, it's something you have to do that's not necessarily normal to consume such high amounts of fluid in a special period of time. And I think it's a challenge for folks. I understand that part of it. But once you're done with it, with the after effects of such said beverage, I think that would be restful. For sure, right? I'm guessing. I can't say. Oh, Miss Honeypiece is missing link. Oh, Lord. Ross, 1987, I sent Ron Baird drawings of a black hole with dual gas jets from poles, requesting Hawking appear as self on Trek. Oh, that's kind of an interesting request. Hawken radiation. Morning, Dead Fool and Miss Honeybee. Some crosstalk here. Dual jets verified in 1990s. Yeah, it makes sense in terms of a rotating object, right? It seems natural for a rotating object to eject in two directions, I would think. I don't know. It's interesting, though. Eggplant Frank says, Ky, standard UK USA railroad track gauge is based on the gauge of Roman carts. Are you kidding me, Eggplant Frank? You've taught me something, friend. That is fascinating. I'm going to read that again because that's pretty cool. Standard UK and USA railroad track gauge is based on the gauge of Roman carts. Man, those were pretty wide, huh? Oh, the track gauge. I got it. Yeah, that means the size of the wheel, basically. The interface, the width, the wheel interfaces with the rail. Now, one of the distinctions that you'll see in the US is that all the rails are welded together. That is kind of unique in the States, as I understand it. My traveling in Europe, for example, you have this periodic separation of the tracks. They're not welded together. And so there's spaces between them. And those spaces are there because in the summer, when that hot sun shines on those rails, or when they are under load and they have a lot of friction load on them, they tend to heat up from the great pressure of the railroad cars that drive over them. And as they heat up, they expand and they change in size. And as there's a gap between those in Europe, they have the ability to do that. Whereas in the US, they're welded together. And so it takes a lot more force and control to try to maintain something in the position that it's in. One of the differences. However, I would also add that you get a smoother feel to the ride when they're welded together. That's a fact. But I don't know. There's something nostalgic about the ones in I loved riding the trains in Europe, honestly. Strange as that may sound. Don't use the restrooms when you're at a stop, though, when you're in Europe. The bottom of the toilets used to just open up a little paddle that just went right onto the tracks, if you know what I'm saying. Playing poker with Mozart or some such. Mozart. Mozart, Beethoven, Batch. What's the other one? Chopping broccoli. Chopin. 1987 had some stinker episodes, says Ross Dogs. Well, I got to get quick here and start reading through these. I created Borg Ferengi ship's design and other stuff. Interesting. Ferengi. Interesting. If you've ever been to Thailand and you cared to learn some of the language, you'd know that foreigner in Thai language is Farang, which I thought was kind of interesting. The Ferengi. Less than honest characters. I saw what Frank typed about me in the chat, says Ram. Doc says, good morning. Yeah, Docs, when we put the links in the chat, that's our doing. I haven't seen any comments from Joey, the founder. I think he's probably sleeping. I'm not sure. But yeah, I tried to tell people when we put something in the chat, when you're on the show and you drop something in the chat, it shows it as Catalano TV. Frank needs to go in the timeout corner for 24 hours and grow. Oh, Ram's digging his heels in here. I don't know. It's not a good idea, Ram. You know, Ram's. Oh boy. Anyways, Terry says, Jerry, you got it. Oh, Ram drops that before he goes to bed. I see how it is. Good night, Ram. Hope you have a good night. Terry, fresh birthday, boy. Yeah, right, Al, fresh, happy birthday. Yep. Yeah, we got the best chat, man. I'm telling you, we have the absolute best chat. I can't wait for the next versions of the blues songs with these other additional names, for sure. Ram says, I follow my Sri Lankan culture, not the Aussie culture. Well, my dear friend Ram, uh, being one who is the son of immigrants, which I am, um, I learned at an early age that I came home to one culture and I went to school in another. And I came to appreciate both very much. And so the embrace it. Saw replayables. I'm often reminded that, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but if the old country was so great, then why did they come here? I ask myself, right? Things were pretty bad when they came here. Maybe not the case today, but you know what I'm saying in terms of when I think about my ancestors. Yep. Have a good night. Yeah, Ram. Sometimes biting one's tongue benefits one more than not. But I hope you have a good night. Oh, here we go. He's digging in more. Uh, less than wise, Ram. Less than wise. Eggplant Frank says, "Are you drunk, Jerry?" I'm not sure why he's asking. And same as Ky. Oh, thanks. He's out. Okay. And let's see. We got Kirkland Reds 100s. Welcome in here. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Please don't tell us how the sausage is made. Yeah, that's a common joke about politics. Don't want to see how sausage is made. It's the way we do it. It's not so bad, if I'm being honest. we've gotten lazy. We're not grinding. We're making it with beef, and we get the beef that's 27% fat, and we're making it with ground beef. So we're cutting corners on it, but I'll tell you, it's the best. It's the best freaking beef sausage. We love it. The neighbors love it. They say, "Don't you dare change this recipe one iota." Bison is so good. Like it better than beef. Easy to overcook though, because it's so lean. Yeah, listen, Deadpool, man, we're on the same page on that. Um, I think we wrestle with our favorite. Me and Miss Honeybee, we've gone through periods where, yep, bison's our favorite. Bison is our favorite meat. And then we're like, I don't know. I think lamb's our favorite meat. It's not bad. If you've had good lamb that's not gamey, and most good lamb does not taste gamey. At least let me tell you, that's been our experience. Man, lamb's our favorite. Sometimes bison's our favorite. We go back and forth. Absolutely love it. Something that people should try. I think in the States here, we can get it at the local grocery stores for somewhere around $8 a pound. It's intermittently available at other stores too, but the ones where you can always get it, it's somewhere around $8 a pound, 8 to 10 US dollars a pound. It is a nice treat, and it is absolutely delicious. But like dead dead like Deadpool says, I don't know why I want to call him Deadpool. Dead Fool says, yeah, you want to be careful how you cook it. I freaking love bison. We've got a you ever heard of the bearded butchers? The bearded butchers are probably well, they're south of Cleveland. And so we've been to their White Feather Meats location to buy some of their bison, and it is just fantastic meat. Just love it. Rostock says the Ferengi were awful. I hated quark. They weren't exactly nice, huh? I've had bison from Ted Turner's restaurant, and it was less flavorful. Oh, interesting. Maybe they didn't cook it properly, Jerry. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. We've had some great bison, great lamb. Yep. Rostock says, I like bison as well. Okay, we're coming up here. I thought I was getting close to the end of the chat. I still got to catch up. Let's see. I sent a loose leaf sized Quark drawing of Quark in real life. He was a mockery of an Italian boss who almost accidentally offed me, says Jerry. Well, you don't want to be the accidental offing of well, less than honorable boss. He stuck the exhaust into vent pipe hole and was gassed in a that doesn't sound good at all, Jerry. I'm glad that you survived, my friend. Rostock's Broken Spirit says articulation. Did I use that word, Rostock's? Now I'm thinking, how did I use that word and how did I use it? Rostock's, I love how you drop these freaking words, man. You're freaking you make me laugh. Jerry's correcting, saying 1978. This is when it happened, or adding, I should say. Ray Davies is an underrated rock and roller. Kinks are so underappreciated, in my opinion. I think the Kinks were gifted songwriters, man. I can't disagree with that statement. I think they're underrated as well. I think they were gifted writers. There are some of the songs I didn't care for when they, some of the stuff that they did when they did a comeback kind of albums, I wasn't crazy about, but I definitely liked the old. I never might have heard of them if it wasn't for Van Halen. As crazy as that might sound, Run DAZ. You know, You Really Got Me, being the cover song that the Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen did, the Van Halen brothers covered, rest his soul. That's how I became aware of the Kinks, through that song. They had some great songs too, by the way. Really, really good, well-written songs, I think. Ross says, he sounds like a real jerk. I wonder, he's talking about that guy Jerry was talking about. I was flopping like a fish in bed, body rejecting. Oh, man, that's disturbing to hear, Jerry. Man, troubling. Run DAZ says, Janie Lane had a really dark past. Yeah, he's talking about this lead singer from Warrant, rest his soul. Frankie equals Ferengi. So that was the motivation, it sounds like. Oh, Jerry, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Oh, that's kind of scary. I worked in bars and restaurants for years. The stick is grass. Okay. I'm not sure I get that. Forgive my ignorance. Oh, he's talking about the meat, probably. Grass-fed meat? Is that it? Maybe I got it wrong. Eggplant Frank says, dude, you super high. Jerry says, I dislike tire stink. I don't know too many people who like stinky tires, right? Here's the one here's the interesting one for me, Jerry. And I can't relate to it in any way, shape, or form. But as I understand, some people like the smell of gasoline. I just can't quite follow that, but those people are out there, as I understand it. I've seen people who say that they like the smell of gas. Not for me, man. Not me. Rostock says, what about the Biners? Biners from comedian John Biner thought of tiny lazy couples. I won't pronounce it properly out of respect. Biner had real hair, Biner's hairless. Okay. He had a scrunchy baby face. Hey, Reverend Freemason Portland. Great to see you in here, brother. He says, at Deadfool, good to see you, David. I mean, Deadfool, LOL. Yeah, thanks for coming in here. Yes, or those aliens who took over Remick and the other Starfleet brain trust. We never saw them again, says Ross. Those parasites. Doc says, as I age, I find myself turning into Howard Hughes without all the cash or genius. Well, Donks, I'll beg to differ you on that. I see genius, my friend. I think you're humble, and I think you know that you are also brilliant. We appreciate you. Your contributions are unique, my friend, and that speaks volumes in and of itself. Speaking of speaking volumes, Jerry Lehane says they were mentioned in other episodes, but binary biners inspired the much more significant for today. Dun dun dun, or dun dun dun. Nanites. The nanites. The nanites. The nanites. The nanites. I like that word. Binary nanites. Fight the might with your nanite delight. Episode 1 of season 3, I believe. These guys are getting deep, man. Remember, I only got my first comp 1999, age 41. I did listening to get weird ideas on computing. I did guesswork by listening to get weird ideas on computing. Interesting. Artists get their motivation from a lot of different ways, right? And in a lot of different ways. Good morning, Jerry. Good morning. Yep, some crosstalk in here. Great to see. I love it when Donkey comes in here. Hey, donks. You got it right about right, Kai. I'm a fan. Yeah, yep. Yeah, gifted architect, clearly. I'm honored to be given a wrench. Sadly, I am at work during the morning show and stop in to say hello. Wow, Gaseous, I'm glad you noticed that. The other night I was like, man, we gotta get these wrenches in the hands of our dear supporters. Gaseous, I think you know how much we value you when you see that we give you a wrench. The same goes for Donks and Waver and our other friends that come in the chats over there. And we always have so many you can give out, but man, we appreciate those friends of ours that support the show. We're very thankful. And at this point, I think I'll remind post the link again for if you haven't subscribed to our stream on Ky and Friends at Ky Brancaccio on YouTube. We dropped the link in the chat here so that folks can see it. We appreciate it. We have the wholehearted endorsement of my dear brother Joey C. We look forward to continuing to help Joey. And I think if the Alpha Shot Lounge wasn't moving to a later time, I would probably still be participating in it. I think they're going to be changing the time of it. We'll know more on Monday. But yeah, I'm delighted to work with my brother Joey, and certainly plan on being on Rock Talk Live on Sundays at 4 p.m. Yep. I miss the arcade in the Dover Mall. Okay. They're talking some local talk. Okay. Okay, some more crosstalk. And we've got the Virgin Bell we got to get out. Jack's Vibes. Hey, Jack's Vibes. Welcome in here. He's giving us the pink gloves. Another pink glove. The wet pink glove. Dirty hands. This is what talking about. Terry D's got the don't use the same door handles as Jack's Vibes. He's gonna get that door handle all wet. Rostog's laughing at hearing Kai say Ferengi. And well, it's I think it's funny when you think about how in Thailand the foreigners are referred to as Farang. Farang. It's interesting. When you have international travels like that and you learn certain words in other languages, it's kind of interesting when you learn these these words, and then you start to wonder yourself, oh, I wonder if this person knew this word in this other language, because this similarness in a foreigner or yet another another well, space creature, so to speak, right? Ferengi in Hindu means stranger. Well, I did not know that. That sounds like there is a probably a word origin from Thailand that might be shared with the Hindu. Interesting. And Borg in Swedish means castle. Ah, interesting. That is also a word root in Italy. Borghese is a common name there as well. So that wasn't Joey inviting me here. How dare you? What? I'm not sure what you mean. Inviting you in here. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, in terms of giving the links. I gotcha. Just kidding. Yeah, I get it. Yep. We appreciate you, Donks. Donks has a wrench too. Bjorn Borg. Right. Yeah, right. Very rich tennis player. Bought himself his own island so as not to have to pay taxes anymore, if I remember correctly. Sri Lanka, the filming site for the best Indiana Jones film. Interesting. Ernest Borgnine. Yeah, I think, wasn't he Italian? I forget. I think so. And the gauge of a Roman cart is essentially based on the width of two horses' arses. Interesting. That, that stands to reason, doesn't it now? Yeah. So I wonder if that's identical to that of it. Well, no, a chariot probably would be smaller. It would be the width of only one. I'm guessing was right. If you're a chariot, you want to be fast, you want to be efficient, and you want to be small. However, there is also the argument of the wheelbase. You want the stability of a wide girth, so to speak. So I don't know. It's interesting. That's interesting knowledge you have, my dear friend Eggplant Frank. This is heretic talk for Italians, but food is all crap next day. Well, now listen, Jerry. Let's have the conversation here. And you tell me if this isn't true, buddy. When you make a really good chili, and honest to God, tell me if this isn't true. When you make a really good chili, it's better the next day. Tell me if that's not true. Tell me if I've got this wrong, because this is one of them that I'm telling you, I'll dig my heels in on this one. Chili is always better the day after. That's been my experience. And there's other foods like that, but maybe a lot of foods it's true what Jerry's saying for, right? There is an exception. I guess I'm drawn to give the exception. Why do you get your meat from where? Who? Yeah, well, it's a place called White Feather Meats. You can find them on YouTube. These guys, they're called the Bearded Butchers. When we get bison, really good bison, we like to buy it from them. They're rather expensive, honestly. You can get it for almost half of that price at other places. But I'll tell you what, man, we've never been disappointed in anything we've eaten there. Oh, that's right. Here's the other thing. I was talking to Brent earlier about, dehydrating meats and the sausages or jerky, etc. They are the only place that we've walked into, looked at the ingredients on their, well, what others might they might call smokies or dried meats. That is the only place we've ever gone to where we read the ingredients and we were happy. We're pretty picky about what's in the ingredients and stuff. And the Bearded Butchers, man, we were impressed with what they did. Jerry says, instead of colostomy, I'm snacking right now on peanuts in shell for roughage colon Roto-Rooter. Well, there are some downsides to eating peanuts, but I'm not going to get started on it. Brent Monk also start giving me some doo-doo if I go into that, but there's some of the things about. I'm just going to leave it alone. Peanuts don't like me. It's all Jane Fonda's fault. That humane meat just ain't as good. Ah, man. A meal is not a meal without some meat, donks. That's how I feel. King's Dave Davies helped create grunge by distorted, dirty, crunchy guitar. Oh, that's an interesting take. I'm a lawnmower guy in some way like gas smells. Some way like gas smell because you can analog smell the freshness potency. Okay, well, I appreciate that perspective. I do have to roll through this chat because I'm starting a new project today. I got to get rolling on it. The people who like the smell of gasoline are people who like to huff gasoline. Is that right? I also think that there were follow on impacts such as the width of space shuttle boosters. I also think they were. It follows on the impact, such as the width of space shuttle boosters, I think, which needed to be transported by rail and got through tunnels. Well, that's an interesting perspective, right? The root source size of something is in terms of what you're able to transport it. The limitations in terms of being practical and how you're going to transport things makes sense. It's really sucks to have to take things all apart and re-put them back together somewhere, right? Eggplant says race fuel smell good. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we put the links in there. We appreciate you guys subscribing to us, and we're so thankful for Joey's endorsement. Brother Joseph Samuel. Thanks, Kai, Honeybee, chat. See you. Yep. Thanks for coming in here. We're going to be rolling here soon. Thanks for the wrench. I didn't see it. Yep. You're very welcome. Thank you for being a dear supporter of the channel. I don't disagree, Frank. I just ain't going to come out and admit I like huff and fuel. Friggin' dogs. You are better off huffing amyl nitrate. It says. Now we don't endorse anything like these things. I got to be careful what I read. Borg was a brand name of foot bathroom weigh scale at my parents'. So every time I tilted the weight scale, said Borg, like the label looking down. Interesting. Chili is so much better the next day. Yep. Those are cool facts about the measurements, Frank. Yeah, interesting. Mr. Z is not exactly delighting the folks, let's just say. Donks, if you can tell whether or not it's fresh by smelling it, then you've definitely inhaled way too much gasoline. We don't recommend it. With all due respect, I might add. No worries, Donks, no worries. Yep. Listen, guys, I really appreciate all the folks in here, all the ladies too. There are some, we know. Appreciate you all. We hope you have a great day. We will see you here bright and early back tomorrow. I'm not sure what the new time is for the Alpha Shot Lounge. You could certainly catch Joey's does his talk and talk. He had a great celebration last night, celebrating his anniversary. We're so happy that Mrs. C and Honey C and Joey C had a great time last night, and great celebration, celebrating their lovely wedding vows, right? So congratulations to them. Joey, I'm not sure when he'll be resuming or if the walk and talk is coming back anytime real soon. It depends on weather and all that, but he does the talk and talk. He and DG, I believe, have a show on Saturday night. So can't wait to see what that's. DG's going to give the real scoop. And so looking forward to that as well. I think that covers it. We want to thank all our friends out there and leave a message of hope. Hope for those who may think of something that they're troubled by or something that's troubling them, and hope you find peace. And you can interpret and reframe the circumstance into what seems to be a challenge and reframe it into what might be an opportunity. You can chew on that for a little while. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks, Ky. Thanks, Miss Honeybee. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hey, Flex316. Great to see you in here. Sorry, it's at the very tail end. This program said, Chivi Almachal, L'chaim Nostrovia. Oh, man, he got me. Flex, thank you, brother. Gifted Catalano TV memberships. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Guys, have a great day. Wonderful. Shiviyama Shala Kayam Nostrovia. Cheers. And what's the other one? Tally ho.
Joey C and Honey C laughing loud on TV. Ky with those guitar leads, Spider's drum beat melody. Honeybee laughs and sneezes, good vibes always pleases. Kahuna knew we never slow, makes the good times flow. Catalano TV, fun for you and me. Epic jams every night, under the spotlight. That make you sway, watch the troubles fade away. Every note a celebration, join the blues sensation. Friends all gathered round, living in the sound, joy in every beat, dancing in our seat. Catalano TV, fun for you and me. Epic jams every night, under the spotlight. Make you sway, watch the troubles fade away. Every note a celebration, join the blues sensation. Friends all gather round, living in the sound, joy in every beat, dancing in our seat.